Hello and welcome to my latest broadcast, and welcome to the replay viewers as well. Thank you for choosing to watch this on YouTube. I'm making this broadcast today because I've had a request off somebody and they are interested in my sewing machine. Well, one of my sewing machines. I've got 5 altogether. And the one that they've asked me to do this broadcast about is my Pfaff, which is a 463. It's got the capabilities for you to be able to sew leather as well as other materials. Generally, I use it I make children's clothing, so that's really what I tend to use it for. But it has got the capability for leather, upholstery, webbing, up to 500 stitches a minute. So it is like a steam train. It's got a variable speed motor, so it runs off 240 volts. I would say it's extremely precise. It's fantastic. I do love it. It's got a drop feed. It's also got 2-thread spool stand, and I tend to use nylon bonded thread with it. So this is my Pfaff sewing machine, and we're going to have a look at each of the parts in the machine, and then I'm going to put the machine on and let you hear it running. First of all, as you can see, it's set in its own table, which is nice and handy. It's got its own oil reservoir, which is quite nice as well because it's self-lubricating. There are parts that they advise you to oil, but we'll come to those later. You can see it's got quite a long arm. That's the tension dial there. So this machine has 2-thread spools, which is quite nice because you could use one. As you can see, I've got the white nylon bonded there, and you could have the second spool ready for when you're needing to rethread your machine. Most of these machines tend to come with an LED light system. I have just got a regular light source there. And I'm just going to have a pan in and let you see the threading mechanism. So you can see it winds the thread round. And I'll pan down for you and let you have a closer look at how it's threaded. You can get some manuals for this. I got some manuals from the manuallab.com, and I managed to get the service manual for the machine as well as a full instructional manual. And this is my instructional manual here. And if I just pan outwards, you might be able to see the knee lift actually lifts the foot. This is the second machine I've had. I used to have a 443, and that one had 2 feet. And the 2 feet meant that the first foot, as you can see, has three functions with it, and it had a second foot as well. So this one is an industrial lock stitch, and it only actually has 1 foot. So the foot's got 3 different positions. It also goes, as you can see, it goes forward. It goes back. Machine, just there. And you can see it's got the motor here as well. Function, which allows you to go forwards and backwards. And this is our stitch regulator. Just there. So if you notice here, I have got the machine now switched on for you, and I've started the machine. As you can see, I'm now stitching. The fabric that I'm using is an upholstery fabric, and it's rubber backed on the opposite side. So on the first piece, I used it single, and now you can see I've doubled it over, so you can sort of see that it can do double the width of fabric with no problem at all. This fabric I've now inserted into the machine is a medium weight linen fabric, what I use to make children's dresses with. It's double the thickness. We're using it on a straight stitch, and it's used on a 3.5 stitch length. And as you can see, it's stitching with no problem at all. So you can regulate the speed of it. You can go really slow or you can go really fast as well. And that's just by moving the foot pedal. They're all complete, so you can see sort of both sides of the fabric and how nice and even the stitches are as well. So next we're going to have a look at the stitching on the interior fabric that I use to make handbags with. You can see on both sides the stitching is nice and neat. It's stitched it with no problems at all and it's been quite happy. So here we have the same interior fabric what I used to make handbags with, and this time what I've done is I've doubled it over so it's twice the thickness, just to give you an idea of the width and the thickness that this. So this is a last look at my sewing machine, and at the side of it it's got a small compartment for you to keep your thread nippers, scissors. In mine, as you can see, I've got spools and I've got my sewing needles. So I thought I'd let you have a look at just a little last look at the things that I've got on the sewing table. And hopefully you've enjoyed this look through my sewing machine and how it's working. And on my next video, we're going to have a look at the Yamamoto overlocker. So please join me then, and thank you.